What is up, folks? Briston Gaming back with another episode of 7 Days to Die Mods Weekly, the show where I help you figure out what mods are good for you. And this week, as you can see here, everything we're covering is about tweaks. All cool little tweaks to the vanilla experience without going to a super mod heavy playthrough. But before we jump into anything, I want to take a second to say thank you to everybody who has liked or subscribed on the content, because it does help out and it does mean a great deal. Also, check out the description if you see mods that you like. In every video I post, there is a link to the mods in the description. But now we're going to go ahead and jump into our first mod. And our first mod I cannot unfortunately showcase because it's a small mod. I do want to mention it to you. It's called Hank's Vehicle Tweaks. Now, I can't really showcase it because there is a conflict with some of the other mods that are installed, and it's been kind of a pain in the ass to deal with everything. I've had a rough week, so just going to go ahead and we're just going to get this out here just to show you what the mod looks like, or to at least get the name out there. And all it does is it increases the vehicle speed and decreases the HP. Now, every vehicle except for the bicycle has had a decent little increase in speed. The bicycle gets a really small one. It just makes them, a little bit more realistic in terms of you go fast, you take more damage when you hit stuff. Just makes sense. So it's a small mod, like I said. But now we're going to jump into the main mod, the main first mod, and it is called Duriel's Little Tweaks by Duriel 7. Now, Duriel's Little Tweaks also increases the vehicle speed, which is why I was having such a hard time getting Hanks to work. And I don't really feel like, not using Duriel's Tweaks, coming in and then using Hanks and then Xing, just it's a pain. I wanted to mention Hanks just because it's a small little mod that does something interesting. But now, Duriel's Tweaks, as you see, it does increase the speed a little bit. It's not, ultra drastic of how fast you're going to go. It does give it a slight bump. The one that gets the best bump, I think, is the bicycle. So you guys know I love using, I think the bicycle is probably the ultimate zombie survival vehicle of any, not even just, zombie, like of any survival vehicle. Low maintenance, easy to fix. You're the fuel source for it. So long as you've got energy, you can pedal the damn thing. They're lightweight, easy peasy lemon squeezy. But now, one cool thing that the mod does is these spikes. So the iron spikes have 132 hit points. The wood has 33 like normal. However, they do a lot more typical before they break down. You see, the iron takes 3 hits before it goes into its lower tier. Now, unfortunately, there's something wonky with the wood. Well, before I step on that, I don't want to die. That'd be embarrassing to die on the video. So now the wood just kind of breaks down like normal, but it breaks down into this. Well, when you come here and you repair it, boom, it repairs it all the way up like normal, which that's kind of neat. At least to me, I think that's kind of cool. And this mod, Duriel's done a lot to tweak little stuff. Like, he's added in his more common steel stuff that I covered a few episodes ago. Zombie reach has been shortened from 1.6 meters to 1.5, so you actually have a better chance of dodging. But he's also increased the zombie damage. So if you're out, like when you first start and you're using this mod, zombies are going to kick your ass a little bit more. Like, you're going to need to know how to do this number here when you're fighting them. Like, you run forward and you back up, you run forward and you back up, you run forward, back up. Like, you're not just going to go in and phase tank some of these guys. But also, so like these scrap boots here, one cool thing is padded armor now can be repaired with cloth. Scrap boots, so you have some iron there, are repaired with iron. I like that. I've never liked the fact that you have to have repair kits to repair scrap iron. The whole point of scrap iron is it's scrap crap that should be able to be repaired with some damn like normal iron. Like, why would it need something special? And unfortunately, the iron sledgehammer, you still have to have a repair kit, which kind of makes sense. But cool thing too is the medicine stuff has been tweaked a little bit as well, to where the values have changed for antibiotics and stuff. Now the painkillers, it's still the same, but Duriel has also taken where the values aren't as random. So when you go from, a tier 1 scrap boot to a tier 2, you're going to see like durability increase. You're not going to see a whole lot of these extra armor crits and stuff like that go up or down unless it's between tiers. You're going to see just a flat, steady increase of durability as it goes up. And then you're going to see increase of armor rating, explosion resistance as it increases tiers, which makes sense. I've never really liked how you could have a tier 6 scrap iron boots be just as good as a tier 3 or tier 2 steel boots. It really shouldn't be the same. Like, the steel should always be better, at least in my mind. That's what I think, at least. But also, like, you can now pick up red lanterns and stuff like that, like, or you can craft them. There's also cool crafting stuff. So if we come in here, I've got type. I had Spike because I was crafting stuff to check out. But if you type in Forgetting, you can actually craft a Forgetting elixir. Now, it is expensive to craft, or at least I say it's expensive, but like it takes a minute to get there. But there's all different kinds of stuff that he's added in. I say he, I don't really know, but they've added in a bunch of different stuff with this mod that tweaks the vanilla. Now, I can't go in and show you absolutely everything, but I can show you that you can now craft the blessed metal mod, which it's kind of cool. I've thought that's needed to be there for a while. Like, why is some of this stuff just not there? Lucky Looter has been changed. So Lucky Looter, here it is. So Lucky Looter, now increases how fast you loot, but Duriel has tweaked it down because it's supposed to give you better loot, not always faster loot, at least not ultra fast loot. Like, you can go, whoop, damn, you've looted super quick. Duriel's tweaked it just a little bit. But also, so look at my HP. I'm at 74 of 128. I'm actually going to go ahead and go back into God mode real quick, just so we can fill it up so you guys can see. Oop, wrong button. Okay, so now we are at 128 of 128. So watch what happens when I put a point into perception. Now it's at 128 of 130. Now we're at 128 of 134, 128 of 138, 128 of 142, 128 of 148, 120 to 154. So the higher you level up the main attribute, strength, perception, intelligence, whatever, you get more HP, which I really like. I think it should have been like that from the beginning of the game, just because, it really pushes you to, you need to max out this, not just this one particular, but the more points you put into the main branch, because you're going to need that to, max out whatever perks, you should get more than just wasting points into those things. At least I think you should. But with that, we're going to go ahead and move on to the next mod. Okay, folks, so as you can see here, our next mod is called Realism by Nesnikita. God, I hope I pronounced that right. So this is just a small little mod. It does replace some of the main files, so it's recommended you back them up before you replace them. But what it does is it lets you harvest zombies with a knife. So I'm actually going to spawn in just a zombie yo. Go ahead and take him out. So take our little handy knife here. And now as we harvest them, we get fat, bones, and rotten meat, which I think that used to be back. Like, I think it's like that in, like, still on console. Like, the older alphas, it used to be like that, but then they changed it. And I don't know why. Like, you need those things for being able to do stuff. And I don't like having to constantly do vultures or dogs or, the zombie bears or stuff, or come into piles like this and do it like that. Like, I like being able to, like, why can't I just get fat, bones, and rotten meat from harvesting these little, zombies I kill? It makes sense. But not only that, so when you're out and about, I have a land claim block there, or not. Do I have a land? Well, it doesn't matter. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna come down here, and I'm gonna put in a workbench so I can show you something cool that it does. So, that's the wrong one. Workbench. We'll put that there, and then I need a wrench so I can show you guys. So when you put down a workbench, or you find a workbench out in the wild, I forgot I had, and you want to pick it up. So if you excuse me. So once you get through this, once my stamina replenishes, you know what? I'm just going to go God mode so we don't have to wait on stamina. We could just do this super quick. We'll watch what happens once we get done. I'm just going to pick up the workbench, and then, we can move on and have a workbench. Come on, come on, come on, come on. Boom. See? Now, I don't know why it said 2, but we have a workbench. Should have only had 1 workbench, but for whatever reason, we have 2. Not a big deal, but it's cool that you do get a workbench from it. So when you're out and about, if you have a wrench, you're out and about and you find a workbench or you find a cement mixer or you find something like that you need in a building, you can go ahead and wrench it up and then, take it back with you. And it's really helpful too, because you don't have to spend those points to learn it. It's just there for you. But now also one cool thing that this does as well is zombies only do 1 damage to blocks. They no longer do insane block damage. I don't have any actual full-on blocks, so we're just going to spawn in. Here we go. We're going to spawn a bunch of these in. And we're going to go God mode real quick. And we're going to put a zombie on the inside just so I can show you guys how little damage a zombie's actually going to do to a block. Which, unless there are exceptions to this. So the only zombies that are really going to do a lot of damage are going to be the spitter police and the explodey. But like this guy. So if we look at the HP, see, he's only doing 1 damage. And that's how it should be. It shouldn't be where the zombie's going to do just an insane amount of damage to the blocks. They should only do small damage, or at least I think so, because it creates it, a little bit more realism. Now, if you want real true realism, then the zombie should be taking, its hands should be breaking and taking damage as it's smashing onto concrete and stuff like that. Or at least, that's what I would think. But also what this does is it also shrinks the zombie melee range. It removes duct tape from recipes that, it doesn't make sense for it to be there. But also if we do, ooh, you know what? So soup, or not, nah. I don't want to show that because those are modded stuff. The health for the basic stuff, like chicken soup, it no longer restores health. I don't know how to spell gumbo. Yeah, see? Takes it away. And that's how it should be. Or hobo. Takes away the health. You shouldn't be able to just eat a whole bunch of food to restore your health. You should have to use painkillers. You should have to use stuff like that to restore your health. It's just, it makes it a little bit more real. But also, I forgot to show you one last little thing. When you come on, I just want one, man. There we go. So when you've got paper like this, you can actually craft feathers with it. It's a small little change, but it's something neat. You need feathers to craft arrows and stuff like that. So I think it's cool that, it puts it there for you. But that's it for this mod. We're going to go ahead and move on to the next one. All right, folks. So our last mod is called Riles Vanilla Plus, and this thing is massive. Now, this is a truly XML vanilla. Everybody can use it, server side, whatever, but it does a lot. So if you guys remember when I covered Riles fixes back in like episode 5, this is a step above Riles fixes, and it does a lot of stuff. So it actually adds like this 4x4 here. Instead of it just being a 2-seater, it actually makes it to where more people can ride in. Now, unfortunately, I've been trying to get my friends to jump on, trying to get my wife and a few other people, but I've had a hard time getting people on to showcase how it sits. But trust me when I say it increases the seating of vehicles. So like you can have, like on the motorcycle here, you can actually have 2 people. The 4x4 I think holds up to 4 or 5. Like it increases the amount of seats on the vehicles and stuff, which I think is something that has needed to be done that way for a long time. Like I hate having to go out with, when I'm playing with friends and have multiple vehicles. Like why can't we all just take one? Because, if we're all holding, our inventories are full and we've got this full, we've pretty much cleared out some of the bigger areas. Like there's no need to have multiple vehicles unless we're just going out on a super long clearing or looting run. But also what it does is like in this here, like in the frames. So when you go to shapes, it unlocks everything that you can craft with that block. Unlocks all of it. And it's not just with wood. It's the same with if I type in frame, uh, here we go. Ah, no, damn it. That's the right one, the rebar one. I grabbed the wrong one. And then we'll do some scrap iron. And then you guys can see it unlocks all of it here. And then we pull up scrap iron and unlocks all of it here. It also does the same thing with concrete, just like I showed in Riles Fixes. I mean, Riles Fixes did the same thing, but Riles Vanilla Plus also changes the miscellaneous blocks that you can get. So like if we come here and we could type in mist, like you see miscellaneous stuff that you can pull in. Like there's a lot to it. It's got supply stuff, and you can bundle stuff together like super high. Like wood now stacks up to, I think it's like 13,000. We'll type. Whoa, why can't I type? So we look at wood, like a stack of, I'm sorry, 12,800. So I was off by a little bit. But like you see how big the blocks stack up to 5,000. Like it really drastically improves the stack size of stuff. Like it's just, I I'm having a hard time saying everything that it does, because of just like it does so much. Like it really does make a lot of changes to the vanilla game. And I honestly say that if you're playing like just vanilla, use this, because it takes stuff that should have been added in a long time ago, and it just makes it a normal thing. Like maybe the stack sizes might be a little high, like you shouldn't need 5,000 rebar frames, but you know, hey, I think it's cool that it's there. You know, having super high paper, it adds stainless steel. Like, yeah, see the stainless steel. Why am I not able to find what I'm thinking of? There we go, polish. Ah, sorry, my brain just doesn't doesn't work today. But you know, it lets you do, like you can use this to buff up stainless steel, as it says, and make them better. I mean, you know, that's really cool. I mean, why would you not like that? And it makes it XML again, so everybody like just one person can have this. If you're playing with a small group or you have a server, you use this. Everybody gets to experience it. Like I love XML stuff. Uh, and then let's see, like, oh yeah, cool. So I forgot about this too. So if we actually bring one of these down, oop, and we use it, it's reusable. So if you've got other people who don't have it, you know, you can give it to them and they can use it. That's really cool. Like, I mean, that's something that I think should have been there for a long time, because I've played with friends where it's like, okay, well, you're going to be the designated cook, you're going to be this and that, and that's just kind of how we designate roles. Well, now when you find a schematic, instead of saying, hey, well, I found this schematic that'll be good for you, or I found this recipe or whatever, now it's like, okay, we can all learn it, so that way if they're not on one day, or you know we're far away or so, whatever, you know, we can at least make use of what we have. But also, wrong button. I'm so sorry, folks. I have been in pain this last week, so my brain is just fried. But if we come here, this is really cool. So the murder axe acts like a sledgehammer that benefits from the deep cuts perk. So when you attack with it, it attacks just like a sledgehammer, responding to yo. But see, he's taking bleed damage. Look at that. Uh, it's like it adds in a lot of stuff. Like the paintbrush. I'm not, as you see, I don't have the dev blocks on, but if I type in paint, the tool that it gives you is basically the admin paintbrush. Oop. Keep holding the wrong stuff. So like it actually unlocks more or less the admin stuff, just opposed to just the regular. And now you can actually scrap paint into oil. You can scrap batteries into acid. You can craft all different kinds of stuff that's, you know, normally uncraftable. Like, it just, this mod does a whole bunch. Like, if you're one of those decoration people and you have gravestones, like, I build in a cemetery most of the time just because you've got so much room, especially the ones that have the underground portion. You can make that your main base and put a horde base up top. Leave the gravestones there and you can repair them. You can repair up the gravestones and just have the cool little look for it. Lanterns are stackable. You can plant snowberries. I can't find them. So, like, we'll grab a snowberry. And you can actually plant these, like, yeah, snowberry. See? Growing snowberry. Like, there's all kinds of cool stuff that you can get from this. I mean, like, this mod does a lot. I can keep going on and on and on and on about all the cool stuff this mod does, but really, I just want you guys to jump in and check it out. I really think that if you want a good vanilla experience that's just a little tweaks here and there, mostly quality of life stuff, this is definitely the mod for you to check out. Not only that, this mod also combined with Realism, or even if you don't want to do Vanilla Plus, you might not like it. You want to do one of the earlier mods we covered, like Duriel 7, add it with Realism. Realism and Vanilla Plus are my favorite combination for just a slightly tweaked vanilla gameplay. I've actually done, well, not a video series, but I've done a playthrough where I had everything set, just normal game, no other mods besides vanilla and realism, and it was probably one of the most fun times I've had on a vanilla-ish playthrough. I say vanilla-ish because there are tweaks, like, you know, being able to craft all the blocks and stuff like that. But the reason why it was so fun is because I was able to build the way that I wanted without having to go, okay, well, now I need, you know, whatever kind of block, or I want this to be able to build what I wanted. Instead, all I had to have was just this right here, and go in and boom, I've got the shapes. I can be like, okay, yeah, I can use this to do this and all that good stuff. You don't have that, you know, without this. But with that, folks, we are done for the week. Make sure you like, subscribe, drop a comment down below. Let me know what you think. Have fun. Take it easy. We'll see you next time.